Pleasant morning, Dominica. Morning, Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to another special Creole Heartbeat program. And we really hope that you enjoy the World Creole Music Festival. As the Independence season continues, we have a special weekend of quite a bit of activities. Dominica's Independence, I think tonight is the Miss Wop duet. And also Mackie Day for Difference. DBS Radio will be celebrating the anniversary on Saturday. That should be a big one. And several other activities. November 3rd, Dominica's 47th anniversary of independence. But this weekend, a major activity is scheduled for Dominica, a milestone event. It's the Golden Jubilee of a play that was initially actually performed in 1975. So we're going to go dig deep into history of theater in Dominica, the theatrical life of Dominica, and possibly honor one of the greatest ever sons of the nature isle, Dr. Alwyn Booley the late. With us this morning is Anita Booley, the wife of the cultural elder Alwyn Booley, and Gloria Sceptre Augustus, attorney-at-law, and one who has been within the cultural realms for possibly 5 decades. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sakafet. Manita.
My mic is not on.
Okay, they will organize everything for you.
All right.
Make sure that you are okay. Okay, once again, Dominica, we are in with Anita Booley, the wife of the cultural elder Alwyn Booley, and also Gloria Sceptre Augustus. Ok, pas de problème. Est-ce que tout est bien? Est-ce que nous passons un bon petit moment festival créole?
Oui.
But as time is short, Golden Jubilee, the first full-length production, full-length play by Dr. Alwyn Booley Strick. I was very fortunate to be alive to have seen this play at the St. Gerard's Hall 50 years ago. A little boy at the St. Mary's Academy. Very, very, very fortunate. And it was first staged in April of 1975. How important it is to revisit this production 50 years after?
Very important, I think. Well, first of all, I haven't seen the play yet. I was not in Dominica at the time it was performed. And when I came back that same year, it was already performed in Dominica and then had gone to St. Lucia and to Barbados. So I'm looking forward to it, just as the rest of the audience is. Mm-hmm. From all reports, it captivated audiences not only in Dominica but in St. Lucia and Barbados. Wow. And I know Alwyn was a little concerned since it dealt with issues of Dominica, but the islands were going through the same issues. Remember, that was the rise of Black Power and the Rastafarian movement in the early 70s. Wow. So, and there was a lot going on in Dominica, which he captivates in the play. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a bit of our history.
Yes.
And it is important that young people, as well as the mature ones who were not around in those days, and I know it will be nostalgic for the older ones who saw it 50 years ago, to come and see the play and to have discussions about the issues, because we're noticing the same issues keep coming up all the time. Okay, it may not be particular Black Power, but it's a sector of the society doing things. And it deals with a lot of those issues. What he did was he made a young couple, the backbone of the story, and colored the play with facets of Dominican life, which he normally does. So it's a very interesting piece, and we have some very interesting actors, both young and not so young, experienced ones and some new ones coming out. And that, I think, is very important for Dominica.
Who were the original actors? I remember people like Gary Didier and Mackenzie.
Ingrid Angol. Yes.
Lennox Things Rock.
Lennox.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Lennox Rock.
Yeah.
Very important. Was Panman part of this one?
No,
Mandela?
no.
He was in ruler.
He was
Was
in
in
Ruler,
Ruler.
Yes, I
which
remember
came on the
Ruler,
following
yes,
year.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
But
So,
then when you look back, both Anita and Gloria, when you look back at the 70s, a very historic time for Dominica, revolutionary time, and like you said, the Black Power uprising, people got a little conscious about the African heritage, and a very militant time in the Caribbean, in particular Dominica. We know from the Dread Act that was actually passed to curtail the cutting of the hair and the Rastafarian movement and that sort of thing. Theater was on a high.
Oh, of
And
course.
theater, I mean, in the absence of, let's say, television, theater was,
Right.
let's say, our local television.
Because I saw it also. I was going to school at that time, and my mother
Exactly.
allowed me to go. And it wasn't too far. St. George's wasn't too far from our home, so I went also. And I remember it was also theater on stage and also radio serials.
Yes.
Local and the international ones. Christopher Macaulay.
Yes.
Green Gold.
Green Gold.
Secrets
it was,
of
I think,
Lacoste.
also written by
Right.
Owen.
yes.
And Mikey Bruni.
Mikey Bruni.
Yes.
But then Green
yes.
Gold would have taken us back to, let's say, the banana industry.
Right.
And
Yes.
dramatized
Yes.
some of the characters
Right.
into the banana industry, which were...
And there was
Dominica
Secrets
then
of
was-
Lacoste with Duncan's too, I think.
Yes.
I was in that
Yes.
one. At
Oh,
that
you
time.
was in that one.
Because by that time I was fully inspired and I was part of theatre.
During that time, I was in a Creole Expression. And also at the St. Mary's Academy, we had a group called Young Cultural Dramatists, if people like that, really too long.
I used to go and see everything.
Well, those were the days. Those were the days
We
of
didn't
theater.
have TV. You have to
I mean,
remember, we
yeah.
didn't have TV.
We
All
did not
had,
have TV.
All we had was radio.
Yes.
And so the radio plays were very popular, and theater was very popular.
Yes,
And in
yes.
those days, how much they paid? $2.
Yes,
to go?
and the only
So
other thing,
people went
the
2
only other
and
thing
3
was,
times.
a little matinee. They
A little
carried
matinee,
25
yes.
cents or 45
Yes.
cents to see Sound of Music and Hercules and Samson and those kind of
And
things.
karate movies.
And karate
Around
movies,
that
the
time.
early days of the Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
But very prevalent was theater, and that's where Alwyn excelled.
in, yes,
Alwyn really excelled.
And educated
brought,
people.
And brought theater. I think that's what the one stage it was called Calypso
Calypso Theatre.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what he
Yes.
called it.
Call it Calypso Theater.
Because Calypso deals with the issues that's happening.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And most of these plays, social commentary.
Yes.
So, like for instance, in this play, talk about guns.
Yeah.
It talks about overseas Dominicans and the attitudes. We talk about Chinese and karate, which was a big
But of
thing at that
course,
time.
yes.
Serving God, potholes. The islands around that time were getting independence. So there was this whole thing as to should all of them try and get independent on their own or come together. So that comes up. You talk about Dominicans leaving Dominica. You talk about the police and police brutality because when you had to curb the whole dread movement, then the police were involved. It speaks about interestingly the Arawak curse. And we wonder if we may be still under that. I'm not too sure. It speaks about ministers and ignorance. And, a whole set of things, that was happening at that time. And the thing about it is, a lot of Alwyn's plays, when you go to it in 2025, 2022,
They're
you
still
wonder,
relevant.
really? That was, because it's still relevant, you can still identify with it. So it comes down to more things change, more they remain the same.
Yeah.
And, sometimes people get so afraid of certain things that are said that they have to apologize and say, well, remember it was written in that time. It was written that time, yes, but it's still relevant now. Don't apologize. Alwyn wrote, he saw those things, and we probably didn't learn. That's why they're still happening.
But they always say that what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it is prophetic, I guess what we are now seeing is the return of what came before now coming around.
Also, what probably wasn't attended to.
Addressed.
What
at
wasn't
the
addressed,
time. Yeah.
But then in totality, we can simply say it's like a history lesson.
It is a history lesson.
Of the time.
Streak, right?
Documentation.
Also,
Documented.
it brings out the arts because we have dance, we have poems.
No, but dance was a big
Performance
thing.
point.
Poetry was a
I'm saying
big thing.
drama encompasses everything.
Yes.
So it has all these facets in it. So when you come, don't think because we say history, you're going to just hear history. No.
Like a history. No, it's going to be a
Right.
dramatization.
A dramatization. You
of
get
what
some
happened.
history, you get some entertainment, you get some things for you to think. Is it me? You
laugh. laugh.
You will laugh, you will get poetry, you know, you will like certain characters, you will not like certain characters, you might see yourself in certain characters, you know.
There's a little humor too, if I recall.
There's a lot of
Humor.
a lot of humor.
Most of the plays of
yeah.
Alwyn, there's also the serious lessons.
Yeah.
And also there's a little humor in also even bringing out some of the messages where he felt it was very important to whatever mood he felt at the time to bring out a particular message. But then you must get, you must learn.
Yeah.
The essence of Alwyn's writing is you must learn. You must be educated.
But
After you watch any production of
Yeah.
Alwyn, you must be a better,
You have to think.
fulfilled.
Yes.
Let me just read for you what
Yes.
Lennox Hornichet said about this place, Shriek. Right?
And we're talking about 1975.
1975.
Let's go ahead, man.
He said, these are times in a person's life, usually during a crazy, misguided, uncontrolled period, when someone has to do the good service of slapping them squarely on the face, and while the state of shock lasts, pump a few hard facts into their skull, and if it doesn't change them, it at least sets them thinking. And the other thing about it is that some of the things were people even laughing at their own selves, you know, that type of thing, in Shriek. So Shriek is what we are advertising. Shriek is what we are promoting. Is this full-length play that was done by Alwyn Boley 50 years ago, Golden Jubilee, and we want you to come to see it at the St. Gerald's Hall. In fact, we're going back home.
Yeah, back home to
Look
where
at the
it all
Arawak, so we're
began.
going back home.
Yes.
And because we're going back home, the grandmother house needed a little fixing, so
You-
we have more costs. We have to extend the stage and do certain things. But we're going back home, and it will be on the 1st and 2nd of November.
Which is this weekend.
This weekend.
Saturday 1st and Sunday 2nd
Second.
at 8 p.m.
Both days.
at the St. Gerald's Hall. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's $75 EC. And you can get your tickets at Bullseye Pharmacy and Jay's Bookstore.
Let's delve into the play itself and some of
Okay.
the characters and who actually are performing the various characters.
But before we go into that, what was important, as Alwyn said, was that when he first went to Barbados and St. Lucia, he was a little concerned that it would not be relevant to those islands. And it was really shocking because they could identify with the various crises that were being faced by the characters in the play. And the same thing was happening in those islands. They may have called it different names and whatnot, but they were happening. And he said, like, the thing with Alwyn's plays, all sectors of the society came. And you find that the so-called bourgeoisie was set thinking about those issues and coming to realize the importance of dealing with these issues with the grassroots people. You see, so it becomes very relevant. So theater like Calypso slaps you in the face.
No, but then
Okay.
the important thing, like you said a while ago, the so-called elites accepted responsibility.
Yes.
Possibly we could compare with possibly today and
Today,
what
yes.
happens today. Because this is very important to accept responsibility and then move forward
Yeah.
in actually seeing how you could remedy. So the message
Yeah.
was so profound
They got
that
it.
they got the message
Yeah, they got
and
it.
accepted responsibility for whatever message and then seek to rectify it, which is very, very, very important. So the skill of a writer
Yeah.
to mirror yourself in a particular position and the characters bringing it out to you, that you can see it face on and take responsibility for it and remedy the situation. This is remarkable. I mean, simply remarkable. And the hope is to do the same this time.
Yep.
It's a
How
restaging.
relevant will be some of those same issues of the 70s to today?
Let me just tell you a little line that's in the thing. A character says, "Boy, I hear you having election soon." And then the other person says, "Well, it'll have to be pretty interesting." We can identify with that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we know elections.
Oh, and the
can-
person said, "I thought it was whatever month, October." And they say, and they continue talking, and then the person said, "That would be pretty interesting." So,
You get those pieces coming out all the time.
Okay, so tell us about the characters. Let's delve into the play itself. Some of the characters that will be actually performing.
I'm going to give you some of the names of the people.
Yeah.
We have Amika Cognet. We know her
Yes,
in the
yes,
Calypso
Calypso.
field.
Mhm.
We have
It's Mika.
Mika, Delia Coffee Weeks.
Aye, aye, aye. Ça, c'est Madame
Definitely,
moi-même.
right? Ursula Winston,
Mhm.
Chad Zamor.
Yes.
We know Chad in Silban
course.
and right? Leona John of Flo.
Yes.
Johnny Jackson.
Janae
Johnny Jackson. We also have Shakaya Andrew. We have McNeil Stedman. We have Sky Bully.
Yes.
Sky Bully, that's Sheldon's son. We have Sabrina Bully, his mother.
Sabrina, wow. So
Sabrina
son and
Bully.
daughter.
Right.
Son and son.
Mother and
Son
son.
and mother and son.
Right.
Yeah.
We also have Montgomery Richards. We have Vigilante.
Okay, the
Vigilante.
Calypsonian again.
Right. We have Dylan Regist. We have Hemi Gist, a police officer. Let me see who I missed there. What I miss it? Oh God, you have me somebody there.
Shalina.
Oh, Shalina, man. We have
Shalina, the singer.
No, she's not in the picture on the
Okay,
flyer. That's why.
Okay,
We have
Shalina.
Shalina.
Who actually is
We have, so we have two.
directing?
Oh, we also have Dr. John. Dr.
Yes,
John.
Dr.
And we
John.
have Mr. Ito, man, the leader of the Freedom Party.
Oh, so that's
Yes,
my that's
Bernard
my
Ito.
Bernard Ito.
Bernard
Okay,
Ito.
all right.
We also
Very
have
interesting.
Vivian. I forgot Vivian's surname.
last name.
We also
Okay.
have Vivian also acting too.
Who's actually directing this one?
Mackenzie, Severin Mackenzie,
Oh, Severin
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Curtis
it's a master.
Clarendon. And
Oh,
Curtis
two
Clarendon.
veteran.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have Ezekiel, our little boy, our youngest actor, Ezekiel Geist, full of life. And you can see that he's going to be in drama for life. He himself is a drama.
Absolutely.
He's a dramatist. along.
Okay. Promotions. How are promotions going on for this weekend?
Boy, you know, there was a lot of noise last week and the
I
week
know.
before.
Yes,
So we
everybody.
tried to put it in. So people, this weekend is Streak. Streak, a play by Olin Boley done 50 years ago. We are restaging Streak, and we have gone through, from since June we are at it, going through virtual rehearsals and then face-to-face rehearsals, trying to find venues. Eventually we're back home, and we are going to give you Streak on the 1st and 2nd of November. And
At
that
8
is
p.m.
at 8 p.m. at the St. Gerard's Hall, which is the place that was the Catholic St. Gerard's Hall Chapel before. We moved back to the cathedral, close to SMA, close to the creche, close to the preschool,
Close
on
to the
on
road
the
to
cathedral,
cemetery. Close to the cathedral.
You cannot miss
The
it.
little alleyway.
Right, going to the cemetery.
Going to your final resting place.
And
Tewe Baval.
there will be parking because we
Yes.
have the St. Mary's Academy.
Academy, yes, yes.
And
Parking
the
on the
roads
St. Mary's
there
Academy
are easy
court.
to get parking in
Yes.
the evening.
Price.
Oh, we
and-
forgot to mention Ra, right? In that too. What you
Oh, Derek Rapp
Yeah,
Leaders.
yeah,
Interesting.
right, that-
And
look at
Ra
Ra.
would have seen that play.
Right,
Yeah,
We
Because
forgot to
during
mention
those
Ra.
days, Ra was very artistic,
Right.
drama. I think
Right.
he used to be with PAT.
Yeah, he was
Yes.
with PAT
Also,
drumming,
with not with PAT, but also with PAT and also with Kubuli.
yes.
During those days. Yes, he actually
He
drummed
used to drum for
Whitey
them,
Kubuli.
yes, yes,
Also played
yes.
music and that sort of thing. Oh, Ra is also
Yeah,
character in this. This is very
Yeah,
interesting.
so it's $75.
$75 and tickets available
at Jay's Bookstore and Bullseye Pharmacy.
This is very reasonable, and let us just make people understand why this price is so reasonable.
Because
We want people
we had
to come.
we had to extend the stage because it is not
There are lots of cuts.
because it's
involved.
not a site that we could just go in. Like for instance, if Arawak was ready, we just go in. There'll be sound there ready. There'll be lights there ready. Chairs there ready. So then you don't have to go through all that. Right now we have lights. We have to put up, get scaffolding, go up in the ceiling, put up pole and wire to put up lights, get lights, and all this that comes at a cost. Then get a lightsman, get
Then
sound,
sound.
get a sound man, put in the internet line because
Yeah.
we're also going to be streaming on the 1st of November on Multi Solutions Inc.
Very important.
25 US. And
during the night, during the both nights of the show.
No,
one
one
night.
night.
Okay,
We're
that's on a
streaming
Monday.
On,
Yes.
no,
But then-
no, not Monday, Saturday.
Oh, Saturday night will be
Saturday.
pay-per-view. Well, let's talk about
Yeah,
that,
Saturday
man.
night,
You-
25
Yeah,
US.
Let's talk
Saturday
about
night.
that Gloria and
Yes.
edited. So on
Yeah.
the first night, which is Saturday night,
Yeah.
they who will not be able to attend can actually
No,
view
I think it's,
We're hoping it's only for the overseas
Dominicans.
So-
Yes,
so-
we'll have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Possibly those who saw it in
and some of them who were in the play, a lot of them
75.
Yes,
are
and-
overseas.
a lot of them are
Yeah.
overseas, so they will be able to see some of the characters 50 years later. This is history. I mean,
Yes.
I really love the idea of this play. I normally will be leaving the radio at 8, so somewhere along the line I have to make an
Let's
arrangement.
come across.
I've come across immediately, but it's I think this is So, what are the plans for documentation?
Well, we're going to the person who's streaming.
Oh,
is
yes,
going to
that's
tape
Lyndon.
it for us.
Lyndon,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, because
So
a
we'll
lot of
have
things
a
were
copy.
destroyed in
Yes.
Maria, because a lot of things that we had
I know.
Yeah.
in terms of the plays and so on, Maria Portuzza.
Yes.
So we're trying to see now, to do it again.
And it's not like now,
Technology.
That was call it the first major play, that local major play that was done in Dominica. So you find we have stencil copies of the script.
Yeah.
They were not, properly online, so we can get them online. So this is all what we are doing.
Those
now.
were the days of
Yeah.
typewriter,
Check that.
Typewriter,
and stencil,
and
Right.
rolling out
and
the programs.
and the how you call it, the posters would be on Manila paper.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. It's so difficult to get things. How life has changed. 50 years, technology has done so much for everything.
Everything.
Negatively and also sometimes very, very positively. Anita and Gloria, we'll get back to actually the weekend. But when you look at theatre in Dominica today, what is the status of theatre?
You have to come. We need to get. We don't have a theatre. So people like the last play which was done, which was Nightbox, which Lakudeza did at the schoolroom. Come on. It's a schoolroom. They have fans, maybe 2 were working, so the place is hot, the acoustics are bad. We need a proper venue. And Arawak needs to get back on stream. Because even for us, we're going to have to use chairs. Okay, luckily the church has chairs, but we have to bring in chairs. We have to bring in some, So you need a proper venue for those type of events.
So it can be done properly, and
Yes.
the people can be comfortable.
And also, the acoustics are good in the theatre, so you need to make sure that they get that back on the road quickly.
You're a member of the National Cultural Council. What's the update?
Boy, right now I give up on Arawak, I really give up on Arawak.
What was the latest?
You know what
You
I
have
say?
heard.
I always
let
say,
me
right?
add it and then I'll come to you, Gloria, because she's a member of the National Cultural Council, like a few
I
other people
call
I
it
know.
the comedy of errors.
Oh, Lord.
Everything that could have possibly gone wrong with the Arawak has gone wrong. Okay? And imagine they're going to put in the ceiling. After all this thing, you were there for the meeting with the ceiling, remember?
You making everybody know that I'm part of everything going wrong.
And we go there. The man comes to put in the ceiling, and they find out the electrician they got put like he was putting wires in his home.
Oh.
And it's not equipped for a commercial venue.
In terms of the fuses,
Yes, the
and
fuses
necessary
and the
wire, because there are
yes.
certain phases that you may have to put
You
for
have to have
commercial.
three-phase thing for
Commercial is heavier,
proper
heavier,
lights and
heavier.
sound.
The lighting and sound. For instance, air conditioning it may be heavier than just normal home.
Of course.
So that has to be revisited again.
So they had to rip it out.
And somebody was paid for that.
Yes.
And then somebody that will be reinstalling it has to be paid again.
Yes. So it's
What's your opinion, Gloria?
I say Shakespeare.
I will just say that I would like to see the day when all the promises that I have received becomes a prophecy. Prophecy comes to pass. Promises are just promises. And I really want that, because for me it will help theatre. It will help theatre to grow. It will help us to use that side of talent, because what has happened is that since after Maria, and we haven't been able to use it, and we haven't been able to get spaces, you find that theatre has gone down, and therefore we are relegated to little TikTok, this, that, and people think that this is how it's supposed to go. This is not how a true theatre is supposed to be, and we really want to get back on track where we can inspire people, where we can get people to really show off the talent, and we can do the things properly. For instance, there are some schools doing theatre arts. They have an SBA where they're supposed to see a live play. God bless, we're doing the play this year so that they can come to see a live play. When we did Nightbox, they came. Yeah. Otherwise, when there's no theatre on, they have to go on YouTube and check something else, So it's not good for us. And also, these are talent that we could have had the opportunity to grab and to nurture and to get on big stage, have our own things, And the other thing is, because theatre has gone down, other things have come in the gap, and we find it difficult to pull back, and get back.
This
That
is
the
important.
problem.
Yeah.
This is important. The things that have replaced
Place
Right.
theatre.
now becomes the norm.
Right, so they have a
And
taste
then-
for that, and they lose the taste.
then, you lost it. The same
Right.
people or the same patrons or the same clients or customers of theatre now have a choice, and who knows, that choice becomes a norm now. So to revert to the initial choice is a challenge.
Yeah, but even those who haven't been exposed, if you're not exposed, then you don't know, you don't see, then you cannot be inspired. Because the little group the big group I saw there in TV Village, if they're watching a play, I would hope that they would have been inspired to say, boy, I want to be on stage one day, and they do, become budding actors and show their talent. But it's what they see, they're showing talent in.
You're so right, because whilst there was piety and a queer and expression,
New Dimension.
New Dimensions came in after.
Yeah.
But then the two main, Barbara Richards with
Movement for Cultural Awareness.
and then there was Movement
Later.
of Cultural Awareness, but then there were two main theatrical organizations, was Piety, and then with Alwyn, and then Barbara was part of Piety.
Yes.
And you also had that side, a queer expression, with quite a bit of the other. I was part of a queer expression at SMA, but SMA had their own cultural group. Which was inspired by PAT, and those days you would have, even if it's, let's say, every three months, at the same venue, St. Gerard's, where the younger school children would have the opportunity to actually showcase their theatrical opportunities, because our group, we had a few convent girls and also some Wesley High School girls, so it was basically a school. And we were inspired by
but then it gave growth to other things.
Well, of
So
course.
I mentioned it gave growth to a lot of the churches had their own drama group.
Well,
We
of
had drama
course.
groups in the region and so on.
But of course.
That's because it grew. And that is what we're trying to do, to put some fertilizer back in that root there, to see whether we can get it to grow again, so that we can have, because when I look and see other countries and to see their drama industry, to see the theaters that they have, Mokajalu.
I know.
But
I
even
know.
looking at television, and you see the young people that have come from schools and groups, and then now have major roles in television series and in films. And I don't want to say show my age, but when I was going to convent, we had they did things like major musicals.
Of course.
Foreign, of course, but Zurika with Raymond's eldest sister and one of the Douglas's fabulous voices. And these productions had a cast of about 50.
Yeah.
I remember they would pull us young kids out of prep and have us as the fairies or the little
Yes, yes.
angels
So
in
you'll
the
be
plays.
introduced.
So you're introduced at an early age. And this was the entertainment and major stuff, done in St. Gerard's Hall. And then when Amma came afterwards, you had Shakespearean plays.
Yes.
Remember they did Merchant of Venice?
Yes.
We did Much Ado About Nothing, in which I acted. And you had people like Errol Blackman and Gammon Geese and Alwyn and Parry Bellot in those theatrical plays.
Yes.
And then they formed the Secondary Schools Drama Society. Remember that?
Yes, of course.
Yes. And then so they joined up with the boys so they could do that. So they had male actors. And there was a big musical which was done in the quadrangle of the convent.
Yeah.
Remember Meet Arizona?
Of course.
I mean, that was a major musical which was directed by Amma, assisted by Alwyn, because Alwyn was also in it, and people like Vivian Trotter. I mean, and these were not the normal piety gang, These were just kids going to school, like Vivian Trotter. Vivian Trotter wasn't in theatre, but they put him,
included
he
him,
was
as a
in,
character.
yes. And they had dance groups performing. And so the kids were exposed to theatre. And then Alwyn brought in local theatre, which pulled in people from all corners of society.
Yeah.
And the thing with it is, it was not only performed in Roseau. We were able to take it out to the various villages all over Dominica, performing in Portsmouth,
I remember
in Wesley,
when I became
in
part of PT.
Marigot, and you just name it, going out to these districts and performing.
I do not want us to miss the opportunity to really reflect on the work of All Wing. And I would ask you first before I ask Anita. We have been hearing talk about the Arawak to be named after him. Honestly speaking, after the work, and I have some of his works as distinguished cultural administrator, playwright, actor, theater director, carnival costume designer, and creative artist, renowned for designing the national flag of Dominica, his own creative writing, including full-length plays, radio serials, screen plays, and short stories.
Sculptor, you forget sculptor. Yeah, okay.
Sculpture, right? National recognition received included the Cicero Award of Honor from the government in 1995.
The flag, or you miss it then?
Yes,
Yeah, he
and
said
well,
the
they said the
flag.
flag earlier. And he also, from 1972 to 1978, he became a teacher and acting principal of the Dominica Grammar School. In 1978, he became the first chief cultural officer, and after serving in that position until 1988, sending out a very greater sense of cultural identity. And I want to repeat that, cultural identity. Do we have that same level of cultural identity among Dominicans? He was also subsequently worked for 20 years in Jamaica for UNESCO as the chief cultural advisor. He assigned assisted CARICOM states to develop their cultural programs and policies. He also chaired the CARIFESTA interim festival directorate before returning to Dominica in 2008. He also worked as a former manager of DBS Radio. He also, in 2010, played a lead role in a film, A Handful of Dirt, which premiered that year in Trinidad and Tobago. He initiated and chaired the Nature Island Literary Festival and Book Fair, launched in 2008 and held annually until 2017. What has happened to that also? His last book, a collection entitled The Cocoa Dancer and Other Stories, was published by Papillot Press in 2021. November 2022, Bully's 74th birthday was celebrated with a presentation by historian Lennox on the Church entitled The Sternest Passion, Alwyn Bully and the Caribbean Cultural Resistance. Are you satisfied with the legacy and the life of Alwyn Bully? Are we doing something serious about teaching our children about who was he, naming something special after him, and a true hero of ours? What are we doing? Are you satisfied? What can we do about this?
Well, UE has named the auditorium after him. It's now called the Alwyn Bully Auditorium. And also, that's why we have the Alwyn Bully Foundation. The foundation is there to ensure that his work continues, and then we try to partner with...
How is the foundation as we speak?
Well, the foundation is doing STRIC in
Yes.
collaboration with La
Kudezat,
Kudezat.
yeah.
Because of the enormous work that we have to do, we can only do one way at a time. We also did Legendary Echoes last
year.
Where you forgot that songwriter, where we highlighted all the songs that not just some
Not
of them,
all.
some of the
Some of
songs,
Handful of the
of the
Handful of the
songs
songs
that
he
he
wrote.
wrote and he made music for. Right, and then we had the Nightbox, and that is why Lakulis that also is trying to do some of the plays. I mean, we'll be doing new things, but now and then we want to really continue to show people the work, because in terms of drama, it's not just about acting on stage. You have writers, you have people who might get involved in lights, in sound, dance, theater, and so on. So, stage management, events management, there are opportunities for a lot of skills to be shown, because when you see the production, it's a whole team effort. Everybody is important, a whole team effort that's been working to bring out that production. And so there's space for everybody to be some part in that production.
Are we as a people respecting that work and honoring that work of a true legend, a true icon, a true
Dominicans,
hero?
We have to support the work.
Dominicans, I don't know. Let me tell you, it's a strange thing, all right? And they used to say, no new memoir pool. Okay, we forget very easily. I remember on Flag Day when the school, the Christian Union Primary School came up, some of the teachers, one teacher said she didn't even know Alwyn was still alive. And the kids do not know. When they teach the common entrance thing, I don't know how they teach it, because you need to discuss those things with the kids, because the kids' minds they can't grasp that he was still alive, he was young, because as one child told him, Mr. Bully, did you know Christopher Columbus? Because if you design a flag of a country, you must be an old man, okay? Or the person must have died long ago, because as far as they know, Dominica has been there forever. Their grandmother is in Dominica, their mother is in Dominica. You know what I mean? But some of the teachers didn't even know, okay? Because you ask, I remember Alwyn going to a bank, and we were talking to the bank manager, and Alwyn gave the girl the check, the cashier, and she says, I need your ID. So the bank manager turned to her and she said, do you know who designed the flag? She said, no. Now, this is somebody working in a bank, to about 20 years old at least, and you do not know the man who designed that. Alwyn Bully designed the flag. I can see you asking, Mr. Bully, that's you? You know, something like that to clarify, okay? But that's how it is. I mean,
not even aware who designed your own
Yes, you
flag.
know. Yeah.
This is pathetic.
It's pathetic. And a lot of the school children, if you ask them, sit in common entrance, what they know about Alwyn Bully, they can only tell you what they had to learn about the flag.
You saw flag this year. Would you want to comment on what you saw?
Well, I didn't see it affair. I just saw the love way that was going on because of the type of music. And you wonder, you know, they don't realize.
Is that respect for the flag?
That's not respect for your flag.
When I saw the love way, I couldn't watch it. It was hurting me.
Yeah,
because
I
felt
turned it
there's
off.
so many
really
other relevant
off.
songs. And if I was a teacher, I'll be on top of that truck and say, DJ, stop that.
How can you hire a truck
so many
to pay
other
for a
songs
school and you don't
that will give them things?
Screen what songs they're playing when you know that these songs are there?
But
you
the teachers
tell them what to play.
The teachers were part of the library.
Yes, and they're singing it too with the children. You can't do those things. And the standards have gone down. Our standards have gone down, and we need to really talk about those things publicly and bring awareness. And I think sometimes as a parent, our days were different, okay? Because we were brought up by a village.
Yeah.
You know, if you pass in a street and you say something you shouldn't say, by the time you reach home, your mother already knows, and you will get a
No, but people
scolding.
say things have changed. But the thing about it is, Lord, we change like from there to right over there. We skew.
No, but in
there
truth,
has to be balance, you know.
I mean, right is still
no,
right.
Yeah,
Right
no,
has
but
never
nowadays
changed
like,
to
oh,
wrong.
so it is.
Yes.
Right has
So
never.
it is, things have
Right, I
changed.
never
No.
know right has changed to wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that
Right
what
is
we
always
have to
right,
impress upon people.
I mean,
And boundaries.
you as a teacher teaching children, you should be aware at least about the respect of the flag.
Yes.
At least to respect the flag. I think this is basic. And on a flag day, to be part of a carnival in the middle of the city with children. And the kind of love way and bacchanal. You know, I mean, you could understand, you know, people having the fun and they put up the flag, but then on the day itself, I was I wondered how much of the educational aspect, because every part of the flag has various they depict different things.
Yes.
The colors, the parrot. I wonder how many of those children are aware of that aspect of it before they go on the love way.
But also, we need to look at the role of the emblems committee. What is the flag supposed to be used for? Now, even look, take
That
Creole
gone-
Festival.
that gone out.
Okay?
Yeah.
I went to one night, but I watched it a little, okay? And one Dominican flag,
Yeah.
okay? St. Lucia had how many? Trinidad had,
Canada.
Barbados had.
Canada.
And
Canada,
that,
I saw
and
one
the
from
sign,
Burkina Faso.
yes, the sign for Dominica was so small on a pole right at the back of the stage on the top. This is a Dominica festival, and you want every camera focus on that stage to see it's a Dominica festival. We should have had 5 flags waving in the front of the stage. Okay, how can you let other islands take over? So when it's St. Lucia flag waving there, you could say, well, it's a St. Lucia festival. You don't know it's a Dominica festival.
So if you do not
and
know
I
and
blame,
you live in,
yes,
if you do not know and you live in Japan and
that
you're just
is
looking
a
at
shortcoming
the
of
audience,
DDA. As good as the festival was, the signage was bad. Okay? And the dominance that it is a Dominica festival was not.
What about
there.
what about the, let's say as you're talking about the festival, like say the entrance? What you would have loved to see at the entrance
I
to the
didn't go
picture
for the
coming.
public entrance, but normally that for years past when I passed through there, it was fine. I don't know about this year.
No, in terms of signage again, signage
Okay.
to identify because images go viral.
Yes.
And when you enter, you want to get a full Dominican
Yes,
experience
yes.
from the time you enter to actually the music and enjoy the music and so on, because you would have had the food and I guess do
Yeah,
some sightseeing
yeah.
and visiting the falls, but then you would want to have a holistic experience in the festival itself.
Yes, definitely. But so they need to look at those things when they're doing postmortems. But the thing is, they do postmortems, they don't invite people to come and give their opinions. Okay, you have to get it from a cross section of people that are viewing the festival to see how you can make it better.
But you still haven't answered how would you really love us, our people, the country, to actually honor. It's true you got a sister award, but then I refer to something.
But it's not the highest award of the country.
It is not the highest. Everyone knows the
Okay,
Medal of Honor.
foreigners are getting the highest award of the country. You
Yes.
notice that?
That's correct.
Okay, and yet the man who designed the flag, not because it's my husband, but this is the flag of a nation, so they should have the highest award of the country. And you know the award was not given until a year after, yeah?
A year after the flag was designed.
Yes. But these are the things that happen. And you know, we don't look at those things. It's not because it's my husband, mind you, okay?
no,
but
I
I'm
mean,
the
but
flag
Alwyn-
of the country.
we talk- we
Alwyn
want-
deserves the highest award.
I
Alwyn have,
believe-
beside flag, Alwyn, the amount of things Alwyn have behind him that has brought the country to the forefront. I mean,
So you're saying one, the highest award in Dominica, and quite a bit of talk. Even the Calypso was written by Ian Jackson, asking for the Arawak to be named after him. What is your
Well,
opinion
I
on
don't
this?
believe in the Arawak, because when they're ready and they knock down Arawak, that's the end of it. You know what Alwyn wanted? For Dominica, he wanted a waterfall coming down from the morn into a pond in the gardens that can be viewed from the cruise ships. So you've been to Vegas?
No.
When you go, you must see outside the hotels the lighting displays they put on to songs. So you can imagine a nice kind of song playing, blasting, and lights being done to that and viewed from the tourist boats. Okay? And you put a restaurant down there.
But this also needs to be maintained.
Yes, but you have to maintain it.
Because putting it up is one thing.
Yeah.
Because there was some waterfall at the Bayfront that was put up, and
Yeah.
we now know it's no longer there.
It's no longer
So putting
there.
it up is one thing,
And
but
this
to
is
maintain
a land of water, mind you. A land of water. Antigua that don't have no river have a waterfall in the airport, and we don't have a waterfall.
And we are not being bashfully or negatively critiquing. We're
No,
just
it's
speaking
just-
because of our love for our
Yeah.
country and things. We
Yeah,
need
a lot of
to
things
we
have
need
been
to
saying-
identify.
some people are saying it in secret, not saying.
No, but one of the things,
openly.
that I try to do on Creole Heartbeat is to allow us to bring out the ills and to even seek remedies for
Yeah.
them.
It's about country.
Because it's about the love for country.
Yeah.
And all of us want to see our country the best possible.
And that's why we're doing that volunteer work, because there's a lot of work here to put on the
Listen to me,
production.
voluntary work is
Boy,
hard work.
And we can't get
I
people.
always,
Yeah.
you know, I always,
We
I
can't
always,
get
I always
people.
said, if you want to die poor
No,
in
Jay.
a country like Dominica, is
Get
to be
in the
around the
arts.
arts,
Yes.
get involved in arts
But
and
look at
culture.
Alwyn.
Get in touch with arts and culture, and you will die poor. I've
No,
always
but
said
it has avenues.
the
to take.
avenues
But there must be enough workers to
not
push it.
financial.
They're
the
not
avenues are not
financial.
financial.
But you
They
get
can be.
artistic satisfaction.
in other places,
Yes.
the avenues are financial.
Financial, yeah.
But
It
in
can
Dominic,
be.
it can be.
It can be.
It should be.
It
can be.
It should be. Why? Because the work that you put into the country can never pay. For instance, we could never pay Alwyn for what he did for Dominica. Financially, we could no amount of money can be paid to a man that designed your flag and to be the first cultural and mark you, these were the days, let's say just after E.O. Libla really put an emphasis on the Creole and the traditional,
culture.
and Alwyn was the architect, the main disciple to really get the culture to be blossoming. And then he left it in the hands of, let's say, Raymond, who actually, did the work. When you compare what is happening now, I mean, is that legacy still continues? Because I've been advocating, and I'm not sure if you heard some of my speeches about the cannibalizing of the independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I heard that.
independence is independence, okay? And we promote our traditional arts at independence, okay? It's what makes us Dominican, okay? Carnival is a total different thing. It's fete and siwo.
Independence is not fet and siwo.
Well, yes. So why?
And imagine I spoke at, I spoke all the positives I saw and observed at the festival yesterday on another medium. And I also spoke about the traditional culture that was placed at the beginning of each night when the park was empty. I know it, I saw it, I was there, I announced
because
it.
you were on the radio.
I was I was the head MC.
Yes.
Now people are vexed with me because I noticed, I announced it on live in the park that we now have the traditional aspect. No one was there. I saw no one there.
Yes.
But that is the time the various, the Kalinagos, the Point Michel Cultural Group was performing to absolutely no one, and people are vexed that I identified it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you do that,
But you
what are you doing? And it is the independence season.
Yeah.
Then the week of the festival are loaded with all kind of contemporary activities and sometimes foreign acts.
Yes.
I knew in 2006 when Mr. Matthew Walter was the cultural minister, there was a document passed that you could not have a foreign artist unless you're dealing with the festival or the Creole in the Park for a month before and a month after.
Yes.
Now all kind of fetch springing up.
Yeah.
A day before with all kind of foreign acts.
Yeah.
Same
And
day.
it's allowed. And if you say these things, people get vexed with you and calling you old fashioned and all kind of foolishness. But these things must be spoken about.
Yes.
Because what are we doing? I even predicted that if it continues like that, the traditional aspect possibly will run out by 2030.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just have cool effect.
Because when the festival started, we put the traditional on stage in between acts. So people would come 8 o'clock, and in between acts, you would be seeing cultural maybe until 12 o'clock. And by 12 o'clock, we felt that people, but at least you get an opportunity to see the Kalinagos. Because what you want is the visitor to get a holistic experience of Dominica.
Yeah.
Now, the traditional
Now
is...
DJs.
Well, and not only the DJs, the DJs playing foreign music. 99%, I said that on the radio yesterday, and DJs call me and cussing me. But I don't really, I don't really care because I figure truth is truth.
Yeah, but
I
if you
witness
hire
it.
a DJ, you should tell them what you want played.
No, Anita, I was there from the beginning and the end of every night of the festival as the head DJ. And I witnessed every song that was played. I never fell asleep. And I was there asking myself, but is this a soca festival in Dominica? What is what impressions the visitor is going to get to take back? I don't mind soca music
Yes.
because soca music is part of the festival.
But pay our
Mix it.
calypso
But then what about our
music?
music?
Mix it.
Mix it.
Balance.
You know,
I never heard not one. I heard all kind of reggae,
Yeah.
and not one Nasio, not
really
one Nasio fountain. Anyway, let's get back. We have 5 more minutes.
Streak.
to
We're
the
streaking.
This weekend.
We're streaking people, and we hope you can come and streak with us.
Uh-huh.
Oh, let me
I
just
giving all you a few minutes. I giving all you the next 5 minutes. Just talk until we end, and I just end.
Tell me, sir. I was kind of curious about. All I went to see streak at that time. I didn't worry about the what name, but then I said, "Are we going to do streak?" I mean, why did they call it streak? You know, so I look in dictionary and all that. Well, I knew what streak was, and if you look in dictionary, you see streak is when people remove their clothes and flash. Like how some people used to do when they have big football matches, the white women take out their white men doing it, take out their brazier and run across the field and so on. Anyhow, so Alvin used the word streak. And somewhere in the play he explains really through the main character why he used the word streak. So I want people to know why he used the word streak. So he said every day hundreds of people streaking by the rivers in Dominica and nobody has anything to say. Nowadays it's pool party we're having, and we're going river like before. But it is not that kind of streaking we want. Taking off your clothes and all that. What we need is a mental streak for people to take off all their masks and pretensions and to look at themselves truthfully and openly for the first time so that they can see all the lies and mistakes and crimes and the mistakes and crimes that they commit every day, while they choose a few individuals to carry the blame and pay for it. It is that kind of streaking we need. What is wrong with Dominica is not that the doings of one man, or one group of men, or one group of young people. It is the sum total of the way of living and attitudes of every man jack in Dominica. And it is time people stop looking for witches to burn and look at themselves naked for the first time.
This is deep.
For all the things that he has in there, he examines a lot of issues. So besides the humor, the dance, the poetry, and so on, he brings out issues that we need to think about, to consider, and see, are we part of helping Dominica? Or are we part of bringing down Dominica? Because for him, it was about the country bringing out the issues in true calypso theater style.
Final words, Anita and Gloria, because we have to go for an outside broadcast in the next 2 minutes.
We want y'all to come and bring the kids, let them learn about a period in our country. A lot of the stuff that's going on in the play is still going on, I hate to say. But bring the kids so that they can learn about what it was like
1st
in the
and
70s.
2nd of November, Saturday 1st, Sunday 2nd November
8
at the
p.m.
St. Gerard's Hall, 8 p.m. Price is $75. Everybody's a VIP, PVIP, VVIP. And we hope that you can come. And it's also being streamed on Multi Solutions Inc. on the 1st of November, 25 US. So people, we can only give you more plays. Don't meet me and tell me when next, or I wish I could come. No, now is the time.
Only.
All right? And later on, we are hoping to be able to do it for All in Dolly's birthday. But now is the time. Now is the time.
This weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And tickets are available
at Jay's Bookstore and Bullseye Pharmacy. So if you don't want to go up the hill, you can go right in town there by Jay's.
I would, as you depart, I really want to congratulate what you have been doing to try to really bring the history in theater. And I really hope that you document this properly and possibly look in the future to have the school children a special, production for the school children.
Last year somebody actually paid for us to show it to the schools, night box to the schools.
So
but
something
then
they didn't
even take full thing of that.
So the school children didn't
Yes,
know. But
it's free.
you do it through the Ministry of Education.
We did it through all the schools.
No, through the Ministry of Education. You do it through the Minister of Education, the PS, and let's see how we can get it work. Thank you very much.
Okay, so
this
we're
weekend,
doing it for Dominica.
Wadik, thank you very
We're doing
much
it for
having
Dominica
us.
people. Come and support. That's the only way it can grow.
This was a special program, Alvin Bully's Play Strict 50th anniversary. That's the Golden Jubilee this Saturday and this Sunday. And that's why we say bye-bye for another Creole Heartbeat program. DBS Radio will be in with an outside broadcast momentarily. Prince Wadex, may God bless you and may God bless Dominica.
west side. Sakai malade. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Pa pou an rete ba moun flè la yon moj a kite la vi. Aprisye sa yo ka fè ko yo a pa mi nou jodi. La se bo ve va leve non nou ka konsipe moun evi.